Yes, sir. You hear that? It's Love Month.
Yeah,
It's Love Month on ThrowBLKs.
love month. It's funny. This shit used to be one day, then it was like 2 weeks. Now it's the whole month.
It's the whole month. It's
God
Love
damn it.
Month, man. February's edition, of ThrowBLKs. I'm J5 here with Josh Peace.
Man, in the building for Love Month. That sounds like something Diddy would say.
I'm going to talk about Diddy on this episode because he's very auspicious by his disappearance.
Oh, in this project?
I mean, just like period in life.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, shit. You see what's going on, man.
you feel like he would have been in the Super Bowl had that shit not happened?
Yes.
He would have definitely been on
Yeah,
that.
would have been on the front stage.
Yeah,
nigga.
I Need a Girl would have definitely been ringing.
Yeah, come
for
on,
sure.
man.
Man.
That's one of well, we could talk about it.
Yeah,
later
we'll
in
talk
the
about it. We'll
episode,
talk because
but yeah.
Diddy's part of this story. Of course, we're of the album we're going to talk about today. MC, what's going on, brother?
Speaking of Super Bowl, I got a couple qualms with
What-
Sir Usher Raymond on his song selections. We'll get into that pretty soon, though.
Yeah, we're going to talk all about Super Bowl and Usher and like the things that I'm thinking about after listening to this album for the past week. I really thought about like just the state of R&B listening to this.
Yeah, it's funny that you said that because I was just thinking this is like the last and it's crazy because this came out what 2004.
Four.
Is this like the last like truly classic R&B album?
I was gonna say the same.
Like niggas don't make R&B that make you dance. They don't have R&B that has like crazy instrumentation anymore. Everything feels like bedroom R&B.
Yeah, or
Like-
they rapping.
Or rapping, but everything feels like headphone, bedroom.
Yeah.
Like this sounded big. Like this was like this is make you dance. Like this is an
Yeah.
album that you would dance to.
I can't I'm glad that we're on the same wavelength here because I'm listening to it and I was also, and we'll talk about of course we're talking about Usher Confessions.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk about all of the accolades this album got, and I was like, I looked at it, I was like, you mean to tell me there's nothing else that's done this since this album came out?
Yeah, it's actually really crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. We just got right into it without even mentioning what album we're talking about.
Because, well, they see it on the title, so fuck it.
Yeah, but Usher Confessions, man, like I remember when this came out and it was an instant classic and I was
Yeah.
in high school. It wasn't like I was a big R&B guy
Yeah.
in high school, but this came out and I was like, "Oh, this is it." And yeah, man, I don't think anyone's made anything up to par with this, but when you think about the collaborators on this project, you got Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis,
Yeah.
Dre and Vidal,
Yep.
Jermaine Dupri, Brian Michael Cox,
Just
like
Blaze.
Just Blaze, Pooh Bear, like the Robin Thicke wrote a song on this
Yep.
album. Like when you think about all the collaborators and all all the people who put this together, like music isn't like this anymore.
No.
Nowadays, the R&B hits are written by one person, produced by another. Like it isn't. It just isn't this. We're losing recipes.
Yeah.
When you think about before this
Ultimately.
time, you had the Motown era and you had all these different eras of music where people were just making they were collaborating and making these records.
Right.
It's not like that anymore.
No, I mean, and I think, and it's funny that you say that too, because I think the one album, and that's why it did so successful, the one album that did that in the past year is Victoria Monet.
Yeah, no, that's a great example of it. But even
One
still,
solid vision.
yeah, even still with Victoria, like I feel like she wrote a lot of that. Like
Yeah.
it's not like this album. Like people don't know. Like Jermaine Dupri wrote a lot of this album.
Yeah, it was
Like this is his story.
Yeah, we'll talk about. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say we'll talk about it a little later, but this was his story,
Yeah.
and a lot of controversy came from that. But it was just also an album that had a lot of controversy that came with it.
Yeah,
And there was a lot of intrigue that came with
perfect
Usher.
storm.
Yeah, it was a perfect storm of just drama that was coming with this album.
Yeah.
And I think that like I really want to like also talk about like Usher as an artist. I was mentioning it to my wife the other day because she mentioned like during his Super Bowl performance that he said something to the effect of like a lot of people said that I couldn't be here, or a lot of people said I couldn't make it. She was like, "Why did he say that?" And I was like, "Because during the pandemic, I don't even know if like people remember this conversation, the Versus conversation."
I mean verses, but then people like it's so funny, man. Shout out to Usher, shout out to his team, his management. Him in this residency has made people forget that stretch of like 2000. I would even say like 8 to now. Yeah, like he had an album with Zaytoven. He had the album where his face was breaking apart on the cover. Like
Hard to love.
wasn't good albums. I'm sorry. Like Usher, legend in his forever for Confessions, but a lot of the shit after Confessions wasn't great.
Remember Versus the album? It was like a 10-track
Yeah,
song
like-
with DJ Got Me Falling in Love on there.
Yeah, like and he caught hits after Confessions. Oh my god, but
Yeah.
but it was never like it was never that. And I think people kind of forgot about that when he went into the residency and went into his just nostalgia bag. And yeah, that's why it's like, yeah, people didn't think you'd be here because nigga, you kind of fell off.
Yeah, I mean, could you say fall off, or would you say like he got to the highest of heights, and with Usher there was really nowhere else to go? Like he was still relatively young when this album came out. He was like mid-20s or something like that.
Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know. I'm a very harsh critic on a lot of the stuff that came after this.
Yeah.
And it was very much just like middle of the road. Like Usher could have been, Maxwell.
Yeah.
Like, like there's an artist that's like, you putting out music and shit, but it ain't never what you did in the past.
Well, I think what it was.
And shout out to Maxwell. I love Maxwell. He's the first person that came to mind. I'm a big Maxwell fan.
I think what comes to mind too is that like, and this is like not even talk about this album because we're gonna have glowing praise for this album. I think that for this first section, I think it's good that we talk about like where Usher is now or where he has been before.
Yeah, we can talk about where he is now because even the album he just put out is a stinker. It's crazy because there's some songs I like on this album, but I'm also like, come on, this
A-Town Girl is like, I said, all right, man. Like, what do we do?
I like the Ruin record with Fields.
Yeah, that was good.
Sounding one. I like Good.
I didn't like Good.
Good, but we still good. That's such a funny ass thing to say.
But like Usher to me, and he does it on his album too. He's chasing trends. I think that with Usher on Confessions, we'll talk about a lot of the trends that he was kind of adjacent to or he was in the mix of at the time. But afterwards, he's chasing trends. I mean, Hard to Love, he had a song called No Limit with Thug on it. And he's in there dancing with all the ATL kids who was dancing and shit, like the Michi niggas. Like,
and we're going to talk about it with even Confessions. I mean, Confessions was a little bit of chasing trends if you think about the moment, a record like a record like Throwback even that was in the
Rockefeller.
Yeah, the rock. Yeah. So it's like he did it in the most tasteful way on this album, and it really, I think it was just so new. No one else was doing that. I think he talks about this album a little bit and how he wanted to make it so real because Eminem.
Yeah.
That was an inspiration for how real this album was.
And you think about the records this album broke. I believe Eminem put an album out this year too.
Oh shit!
I think he did. Didn't he put out an album in 2004?
Was
it the year before? Or no, it was 2002.
2004.
It was Encore. Yeah, Encore 2004. It was like it would come out after that. But then I think that he's more so talking about like Marshall Mathers LP.
Yeah, definitely.
Like that kicked it off because that came out 2 years before this, and that kicked off like, oh man, I got to really talk about something here. But I think
he's bringing up what happened in 2002. That would have been Eminem Show if he's talking about 2002.
Oh, Eminem Show. Yeah, Eminem Show. I'm sorry.
2000.
I got the Eminem Show CD when we were on a trip to DC. In middle school, or
I think everybody has that CD, right? I think everybody, like literally everybody, should have that CD, right?
I had it. Josh didn't have that CD.
I'm like, what the fuck you even say that? Everybody should have that CD.
Everybody has that.
It is on record.
One Eminem CD, Josh?
It is on record that Josh does not own any Eminem songs.
I've never owned the Eminem album. I've downloaded and ripped and burned. Yeah. I've never bought an Eminem album. Maybe the first one. What was the first one?
M on the cover? Slim Shady LP.
Slim Shady LP, and then what was the second one called?
Marshall Mathers.
I bought those two. I'll give them those two.
Okay.
I'll give them those two. I definitely remember Marshall Mathers LP had like he was like in a barn, like not a barn, but like
it was like outside a house.
Yeah.
Outside a house.
I mean, that was a real
house. Doing this.
Yeah,
doing this.
Yeah, Detroit.
But I think with Usher after Confessions, it got kind of shaky because one thing we'll notice when we talk about this album, just kind of in its totality, Usher takes very long breaks. Yeah. Between albums. He did not put out another album until 2008 after this. Mm-hmm. Like he took a very long break. He didn't really need to. I mean, he toured off this album for years.
Yeah.
He didn't need to put out anything else. But I think that like it gave him time to like kind of look at the landscape. And I think at that long layover, do you feel as though he was like, I'm not making any trends, so I got to hop on another trend in order to do this? Because Here I Stand comes out, and he's already on Snap, and he's already on a lot of different stuff.
He had a record with Jeezy, which great record. That's my thing about Usher. Like, and I'll give him this. All of his records after Confessions at least had like one little hit.
Yeah,
like a little like Lovin' This Club.
Lovin' This Club's fire.
Like did he perform that during Super Bowl?
Yes, he did. He did. What?
Yeah, the medley was crazy.
Let's get to the Super Bowl real quick. I didn't like that either.
I didn't. I mean, but my thing is, it's always hard with those performances because you have to medley it up.
Yeah, 13 minutes.
But then also, you got to think about what we've seen in the past from Super Bowl performers. Mm-hmm. They've been superstars.
Yeah,
like Usher's probably smallest superstar we've had to perform.
Well, here's the thing. I think you say that now, yes. If he did this 10, if he did this 20 years ago, I don't think we're saying that.
I mean, but who are you could put him up against? Rihanna?
I think he should have been up there before Maroon 5.
I mean, yeah, okay, that's a good
like he should have been up there.
No, and I don't even think about Maroon 5 in the grand scheme of this.
Before Bruno Mars, for sure.
Yes, but it's like you're thinking about. See, when they were doing Bruno Mars and Maroon 5, those were very much of the moment.
Yeah.
Like Usher, if you're saying Usher should have did it in 2003 or 2004 or something like that, then yeah, that makes sense. But
I was shudder to say they could have did it anytime in the early 2010s because he still had Confessions and he was still kind of buzzing. I mean, Here I Stand still did really good.
I'm just looking at the Rock Nation era of Super Bowl performances because honestly, anything before Rock Nation, if you ain't Prince or Beyonce, Beyonce is the Rock Nation era too. I think.
No, she was before.
Oh, she was before. Yeah, if it's only certain caliber. I think about the Rock Nation era and then the superstars that have done it.
Right.
Anything in between that was just fluff. Like
it made me go back the other day. I actually watched, and it's fucked up. Is it fucked up to say this? I went back and watched Michael Jackson's, the 93.
Oh yeah.
And I said, I was like, this was the moment when the halftime performance was a thing. Yeah. The Michael Jackson performance was when that nigga was stunting on a whole nother level. For 13 minutes, he stood up, nigga. He stood there on the stage for 2 minutes and didn't move. Yeah, and niggas was just cheering.
I mean, that was like a concert. Like they might have gave him more than 15 minutes.
Like, and I was like, imagine this nigga doing this for free, because they don't pay niggas. Yeah. Imagine him doing this for free. He had like I don't know if you remember this. He had the people hold up the signs to make the kids.
Oh yeah,
but because he did Heal the World at the end with all the kids coming out, and I was like, I don't know if this is aged very well, but he had it all. He had them all come on. I was like, bro, he killed it. But now it's like it's so much of a thing that now we're looking at it like the superstars that got to be the only people there. But I was shudder to say the NFL probably missed the Usher moment in a lot of ways.
I mean, I won't say that. I mean, I guess at the time maybe like I'm trying to look right now who performed in 2000.
The 2010s?
Yeah, like 2003 even. Like, you had Shania Twain, no doubt, in 2003. You had U2 in 2002. Like,
it wasn't for niggas back then.
2004 was the infamous
Janet Jackson. Yeah, but then you got to think it was Janet,
things up.
Justin, Jessica Simpson, Nelly, Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Like, it was very much like they were just capturing the moment of the time. So it's like, Paul McCartney after that, Rolling Stones, Prince.
They was not on niggas for a minute.
Bruce Springsteen, The Who performed in 2010.
What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really think about all these because like NFL is very much doing NFL shit.
Yeah,
we're gonna have some legacy act that nobody give a fuck about perform. Like, I'm ready to literally get up and eat. Like,
that's what I was saying too. Because somebody was like, "How come they not up during the halftime performance, getting up and dancing?" I'm like, because they don't give a fuck about it. Like, a lot of people don't get. That's for us at home. That's not for them in the arena. Like, a lot of people don't give a fuck about that. But like, to your point, Josh, like they might have missed the moment, but I also feel like with Usher, it's like, when would have been that moment? When would have been that time? I think the perfect time was probably now, after the conversation, especially during the pandemic, when they were like, yo, I don't think Usher could do it. Could he do a Super Bowl? Is he better than Chris Brown? Like, that was a conversation niggas was having.
That's my thing too about Usher too. Like, he had to go through this.
Yeah.
Like, he had to go through the residency and really show that like I'm the GOAT performer damn near, and like the skating thing and like making that a trend. And, like, it was just like this was the perfect storm for him. I couldn't have seen any other time, even as good as this album was.
Right.
And so back to my original point of him being like the smallest superstar, when you think about his performance, it's like Usher got hits, but he ain't got like smash global, everybody know it hits.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of them, but it's like that's like the one. Like, when you think about Rihanna, Beyonce, they got multiple of them motherfuckers.
You remind me? I bet you they got 1 billion streams.
We could check.
I bet you remind me got 1 billion streams.
I just think it's
we didn't even get to hear that on Sunday.
Yeah, like that, and to my point, like,
you know why you didn't get to hear that? Because like that is from an era that, and we're talking about it today. Like, that's from an era that, like, for some strange reason he chooses to forget. Like, it's for him, his career is like 8701 on.
But
and anything before that, he's not fucking with.
But also with a record like You Remind Me, it just takes too long. It's like that's a great song. It's a song. It ain't a smash hit. Like, your grandma don't know You Remind Me.
Yeah.
Your grandma know. Yeah. She hear that. She like, oh, Lil Jon. Like, it's just but like, it's just, and that's to my point. I think he just didn't have those smashes,
bruh,
and that's why it felt like, damn, like,
what was this, man?
Yeah.
This haircut, man.
Yeah,
he was doing the faux hawk.
Everybody had that
on Looking for Myself.
What year did this come out?
2012. This was like the
that was with Climax on it.
Yeah.
Climax was a hit.
100 million streams.
People
on
like
Spotify.
Climax. I didn't like Climax.
Numb was on there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's the thing. Like, a lot of it was chasing trends at the time, but a lot of it is songs that he performed in his residency. That was another thing that had people thinking that Usher was washed, was he was doing a residency. And I feel like residencies are looked at a little bit differently now. And I think he helped kind of push.
Oh, definitely.
Push that
I mean, they're about to change. Shoot, fucking Beyonce's about to do a residency.
Yeah, she's not washed. You know what I'm saying? Like, Adele did one. She's for certain.
Yeah.
She's for certain not washed. You know what I mean? Like, Usher did 100 fucking performances, which is crazy to think about. He was doing them shits every weekend.
Yeah, it's just wild.
And now the 101st performance in Vegas was at the Super Bowl. Like, that is a huge deal. And I think when we look back at his career, we could say, like, damn, almost unthinkable that it could be him as an artist doing this. But he was an artist that kind of reinvents himself every single time. Even if we call it chasing trends, he might call it reinventing himself. We just saw him with a full hawk on the fucking Looking for Myself album cover. This is a guy that's able to kind of be a chameleon and blend into different styles anyway.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. And I think, you know, it's a testament to how hard of a worker he is.
Yeah.
I think that's really one of the things that I really got from just this era of his career.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this dude's really a hard worker, and he's from the old school where it's like, you have to put in the work to get to this point. You know, and that's what's lacking in R&B now.
Yeah.
A lot of it's just like, off of pure talent. This is a gripe I have about a lot of music now. It's like, it's a lot of talented rappers and singers and everything. It's a lot of talented everything, but it's like, are you going to put in the work behind that talent?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's going to make you great, the greatest.
And I think it's really a lost art. I mean, just to get into his career, just so we can walk through his career, Usher started out his career, or was born in Texas, moved to Tennessee, then moved over to Atlanta. He was in Star Search.
Oh shit.
He was in Star Search when he was a kid, and that's how. And before that, he was in a boy group called New Beginnings, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
And his mom pulled him out of that. It was like, this shit ain't happening. It's not working. And LaFace found him at Star Search when he was about 13 years old, and they signed him to a deal, which eventually led to his first album, the self-titled album in 1994. I was telling you guys today, a lot of people don't remember that he had a self-titled album. A lot of people think his career started at My Way.
It's funny. I remember that album because like I remember that cover and like my parents having that CD.
So young on the cover.
Yeah, but I remember my parents having that CD, and Thinking of You was on that. So that was just like one of them like, yes, y'all. Like, you remember that style of R&B? Like, he's went through so many different eras of R&B.
That was like the Soul for Real era, like the Candy Rain era.
Yeah, so and I don't know, that record really reminds me of my childhood a lot. So yeah, Usher was definitely that first album. Yeah, that's the beginning of his career. I can't believe people only think of My Way.
It's crazy to think that, but I mean, like, again, it's especially to Black people, My Way, iconic album.
Well,
You know
my
what I
thing
mean?
is, it's just like, My Way is when he started dancing.
Yeah.
I don't know if Usher was dancing before My Way.
I got to look at that Star Search performance. I'm pretty sure he might have been.
I mean, he might have been doing some little moves. My Way, that was the whole fucking Romeo and Juliet video.
Yeah. Was he with the clown? Tommy the Clown? Was he in that video?
Nah,
I feel like
don't
he was.
think so. Was he? Hell no.
I feel like he
Tommy the Clown
was.
wasn't popping in.
I
Hell
feel
no.
like he was.
Nah, definitely not.
His first song was "Call Me a Mac," that was on the soundtrack to Poetic Justice.
That's crazy.
That was his first solo song. Of course, he was on LaFace. So we just talked about LaFace Records last episode. Outkast was on the label at that time already. Also, TLC was the Moneymakers on LaFace at that time. And everything was kind of like looked at like, you got to do what TLC is doing or you're not doing shit. So eventually, Usher released his self-titled debut, co-executive produced by Sean P. Diddy Combs. Y'all remember the story about Usher saying him and Diddy used to live together when he was 13? And everybody was like,
don't want to, but
first like, wait, what? What are you saying here?
Yeah, I mean, he's produced the album, so I get that. But there was another story about them like fighting for Siri or some shit. That's the story you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like, I wanted to tell that story. I feel like really like, I feel it's very like bittersweet that he gets this moment and somebody who was so influential to his career, because you had Jermaine Dupri on stage there, Lil Jon was on stage there. Two guys that were influential to his career. P. Diddy was like the guy who like put him out there.
That's crazy. That you mentioned I Need a Girl. That's a smash that should have been performed there. Your parents know I Need a Girl.
You can't do that.
You can't do it, but dog, I know he wanted to throw that in there. I know he wanted to just a little two-step. Oh man.
I mean, again, Usher's got an underrated feature thing too. Like New Flame, can't do that either.
Yeah.
Can't do New Flame either.
It's crazy.
Like he can't touch that. But the thing is that a lot of people had issues with this album. They had issues with the subtitled album because he was like age 14 talking about sex and getting macking hoes. And I think that just come from P. Diddy writing the songs. I think that's where it come from.
That's what it was. I think people should know that, or should have known that. Like, you know, these R&B at the time was very much older people writing songs for younger people.
Yeah, yeah, and they weren't. And again, like people didn't. I think again, the pearl clutching was crazy back then. Anyway, it was different. P. Diddy was looked at how he was looked at. He was hanging with gangsters, and he's got a child, a God-fearing child. It's thinking about sex. But after that album came out, didn't do too well. Didn't do too well at all. And LaFace was very adamant about possibly going another way with Usher. And Usher took time. It took him 3 years to come out with another album in 1997. That was My Way. And that album came out of the friendship with Jermaine Dupri in Atlanta. Jermaine Dupri took him under his wing and said, hey, I'm already a hitmaker. At this point, he's already a hitmaker. My Boo was already out. Chris Cross had already been out. DeBrat had already been out. Jermaine Dupri is one of the biggest producers in the game. I feel like a lot of people still don't put no respect on his name, too.
I mean, shit, I don't know how they can't. He's still producing shit right now. That Money Long record that's going crazy, that's him.
Yeah.
Like,
Made for Me is Jermaine Dupri?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a bad man.
Yeah.
That's a bad fucking man.
Bro,
God
what is it now? 1, 2, 3 decades of him having like a hit on Billboard? Like there needs to be a Grammy fucking wing for all of his songs. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And Usher and Jermaine Dupri, I say this right now, I think one of like the best duo to me. One of the best duos, if not the best duo in terms of just creating albums together. Like a lot of people will credit Jermaine Dupri for like reviving Mariah Carey's career.
Absolutely.
I think Jermaine Dupri also helped create Usher's career as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think when he started working with Jermaine Dupri is when you started to see the full capabilities of Usher as an artist.
Yeah.
You know, the look, the dancing, the singing, like it was all there. And it was like the right time, I think, too, because you just think about like the MTV era and like not having any like black stars who were friendly to the world. Yeah. I think Usher was that. He filled that void completely.
Because I mean, around this time, Michael Jackson was kind of...
Yeah, but even you think about the R&B singers of that time, they were a little bit older and they're a little more street.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Dave Hollisters of the world.
R. Kelly.
Joe's, R. Kelly. Yeah, they were all kind of like street, like, but, you know.
Usher had the baby face.
Baby face, yeah.
You know, the baby face. And then again, he was the only guy that we had that was going to possibly stand toe-to-toe with the NSYNCs and the Backstreet Boys who was popping at that time, too. Like, he was the only person that was on TRL next to those guys as far as singers go. So, led by the single "You Make Me Wanna," one of the dirtiest Mac songs possibly on radio. Did he do that? He didn't do it. He didn't do "You Make Me Wanna," did he?
He did "You Make Me Wanna."
That's crazy.
I don't remember the exact melody. I gotta watch it again too, because like I watched it live. And I was just unimpressed.
You
honestly.
came in and said this is one of the worst Super Bowl performances of all time.
Yeah, I was just unimpressed, honestly. Like it's just not enough of the songs. When he did I mean, I'm just jumping, but when he did "Nice and Slow," had the little meme like, "What time does Usher say?" Did you catch that?
Yeah,
don't make it corny. You're making it. Now you're making it corny. Don't make it corny.
That's what it was.
Say it that bad.
What was that from? Was that from like a show or something?
Was it from a show or a meme or something? Do you know, Mark?
It was from.
I'm pretty sure it's TikTok. There'd be the kids walking around in high school like, actually, they ask their teachers like, what time did Usher? What time was Usher on the cruising the streets in his drop top?
Yeah,
they gotta say it's 7:00, or they move on to the next teacher or something like that. Those TikTok moments can end up being things that blow shit up like that.
I didn't like that was incorporated into.
But you like that he's self-aware though.
I didn't like how that was. I didn't like how that was put into the performance at all.
with the clock on the.
Yeah, I was just like, this shit is corny. But then it's just my gripe was that everything was too fast.
Yeah.
It was like you were just doing half a bar song here.
It felt like the thing that had me fucked up is that I thought Super Bowl performances were longer. They're all 13 minutes.
Yeah, 13 minutes. And he fought for an extra 2 minutes and didn't even use it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just felt very fast. I felt like he wasn't singing enough.
Yeah.
So there was like points where it was like a little like quiet.
Mm-hmm.
and he was just doing more dancing and breathing.
Yeah,
which it's tiring to be doing that shit. So I get it, but it wasn't my favorite at all.
You Make Me Wanna was one of the songs on there. My Way was another one.
My Way is my shit.
He had a number one a Billboard Hot 100 number one in this time in '97. It was Sharks out there. NSYNC was out. Backstreet Boys was out. Eminem was out. Mad Niggas was out already making waves. Number one for Nice and Slow. That was as a kid, why was we listening to that? That song nasty.
I mean, that shit was just a record. It was a jam. Everything about it goes back to just my earlier point about like coming together and make a record. Like, you had geniuses putting that record together, and it's just like everything about it, the melody, the guitar, everything was just like, damn, this shit's fire.
My Way would go on to become 6 times platinum. Like, he's decorated.
Yeah.
He's decorated. He is a superstar, Josh.
No, I mean, okay, there's Usher and then there's Rihanna. We talking
that's
about.
Unfair.
Has she gone diamond?
It's not unfair.
Has she gone diamond?
I'm pretty sure she won more than 6 times platinum. She might have won diamond. What's Auntie?
I mean, I got a little Navy badge on my chest. I don't know if she went diamond.
She ain't went diamond. She ain't gone diamond. I'm talking about as far as male R&B, bro. She I think Anti might be 5.
Shout out to Usher. Shout out to Rihanna as well. I love both of them as artists. When you talk about big hit records,
come on, man.
He ain't got it like her.
I think Josh is just saying he's not stadium status and he's more arena status, but he fills up an arena pretty decent, even though he might be able to not be. Well, I'm not going to say he might not be able to fill out SoFi, but now, I think that's just a lot more things that go against his
I don't think he could hitting SoFi if he's touring. Like, let's keep it real. He's not hitting SoFi on his tour. He got a tour coming up. He's not hitting SoFi.
Because this new music, man.
Okay.
But we're shitting on his catalog. That's what I'm like, does this Super Bowl defeat the allegations of his catalog, or are we still going to keep putting 3 Justin Timberlake albums in the conversation and just trying to entertain that? I don't think that
he's definitely better. He's definitely a bigger star than Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, I mean, I like his music more than Justin Timberlake. Bigger stars, it's a stretch.
Today he is. Justin Timberlake can't even get people to listen to his shit. Today
is true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Like that nigga's struggling today. What did Anti get, Mark?
Anti is 6 times platinum. She also has another 6-time platinum album. Assuming it's Good Girl Gone Bad.
Usher's diamond. Anyway,
okay.
In between My Way and his next album, Usher would start acting. He was on Moesha. I forgot about this.
Yeah, Moesha, Faculty.
Faculty, yeah.
There's another movie he was in. Oh man, Faculty. I remember that. I saw that in theaters at the Magic.
The Faculty was a. I'm not supposed to be watching this. My parents got me the ticket to go see it and told me to go have fun. Classic, back in the day. But in between that, like Usher, like really wasn't doing a lot of music in between all of that. Like 97 would pass, 98 would pass, 99 would pass, 2000 would pass as well. He originally wanted to start recording his third album, which was going to be called All About You. But after a single called Pop Your Collar did not do as well as the label and he thought it would, he went back to the drawing board. And then he pretty much came back with 8701, which also dropped on that same day of August 7th, 2001. And at this time, Usher was also moved over to Arista at the time because LaFace had folded for the first time after that.
Yeah, no, that I want to mention also Usher was in Light It Up, which was another movie at that time.
That movie was that like a dance movie?
No, that was the one where he was at a school and the police like barricaded themselves in the school and. Yeah, Rosario Dawson was in that too. Random movie.
Yeah, and everyone wanted to go see that too. It was dark outside. Yeah. All I remember is it being dark.
Yeah.
That shit was not good. It wasn't good. But 8701 continued the partnership between Usher and Jermaine Dupri, and it spawned a lot of different songs that he reaped the benefits from, including "You Remind Me," "You Got It Bad," and "You Don't Have to Call," which. That's all from the same album, Josh.
The thing about records like that, though, and that's another reason why I feel like that about his catalog in general, it's like it takes a little bit of time for that song to build up.
Oh, actually, he did do "You Don't Have to Call" because I remember him saying he didn't say "Ask My Nigga for Real." He just didn't say nothing, and that's when they stopped and they didn't go any further.
I gotta go back and watch it, man. I honestly was not impressed. I was over.
Yeah, "You Don't Have to Call" is his third record. Now I'm looking.
Yeah, he did do
My Way kicked it off.
Yeah.
He has Confessions records. You'd Have to Call ends up being one of the only 2 records that he performed from 8701. And then we got the mixture of what we got. at the end there with those later records.
Yeah, what a weirdly paced. I liked it, but it was very weirdly paced, and it did go too. It was too short. But
one of the first, you don't have to call it amazing Neptune's beat too. That's probably one of their best beats.
One of the only ones that hasn't aged like fucking spoiled milk.
Yeah, that's like literally one of their best beats.
Have you heard Super Thug lately?
I mean, Super Thug's a good beat. Neptune's beats are good because they're Neptune's beats as soon as you hear them.
I don't know, man. Some of them beats did not age well. I think what's the Jay-Z one? Give It To Me age well. I think You Don't Have to Call It age well.
Change Clothes age well?
Hell no. Change Clothes is terrible. Change Clothes is a bad beat.
I don't think it's a bad beat.
Back in the day, even remember when Change Clothes came out and everyone was like, I thought Jay-Z was about to be on the hard shit for Black Album.
I like the Change Clothes beat.
That's You Don't Have to Call.
That's You Don't Have to Call. I'm tripping.
It was
I like that beat.
That shit sound like the beginning of a UPN sitcom, nigga.
I like that beat, man.
Like if you would have told me that was the intro to In the House with LL Cool J, I would have believed you.
Oh my gosh.
I would have fucking believed you.
All right, in an alternate world, in an alternate world, if Pharrell pulls off what he originally wanted to do and give You Don't Have to Call to Michael Jackson, how big do you think that record would have been?
I wouldn't have been that big.
Really? You know what, man?
Nah. Michael Jackson would have sounded crazy on that shit.
I feel like he would have sounded all right. If You Rock My World was good,
that's what I'm saying. You Don't Have to Call
is not too far away.
That's what I'm saying. Michael Jackson would have sounded good on that. The late Michael Jackson shit was fire. That's the thing, man. Yeah. Mike, his late shit that he was doing.
Butterflies?
Bruh. I still listen to that song to this day.
Invincible with the Biggie verse?
Yeah.
I said, how you get this shit? This nigga dead.
Mike actually was kind of like.
He was a thug.
Yeah, he was out here. One of the best ever. Come on.
I don't know about Mike on Neptune's beats, man.
I want to AI that. Like somebody got to do AI of Michael Jackson. You Don't Have to Call.
That would be strange, but you
said it was originally for him.
It was for him. Yeah.
Yeah, we got somebody out there. I know someone listening knows how to do AI remixes. Let's hear that.
Put butterflies over it.
No, they just do like Michael Jackson singing You Don't Have to Call. I've seen Rihanna singing Tim's songs, so I know they could do it.
Yeah, I believe there was a clip of Pharrell actually saying he wanted to give it to Michael, and I forgot who on Michael's team ended up telling Pharrell this. He was like, "Yeah, we don't really want the soft records from you. We want the shit that you giving the rappers." So he didn't get a chance to give that. He didn't get the chance to give that to Michael. And,
why did Michael want that?
Crazy.
He wanted to sing on "Light Your Ass on Fire." That's what he wanted.
That beat sounds terrible.
Yeah.
No, it don't. Okay, all right, hold on, wait. No.
It sounds like a nigga farting on the beat.
Oh my god.
It sounds like a nigga farting on the beat. Come on, man. Okay, I give you Cot Damn. I give you Cot Damn off the Clips album. That one it. Cot Damn was fire. Cot Damn was fire. A lot of
You're not playing It Blows My Mind?
Blows my hell no.
Stop it.
No, man. Drop it. Is nigga still fucking with Drop It Like It's Hot, the beat?
Yes, nigga. All those beats is hard.
Nigga still fucking with this.
I mean, Neptune's production didn't age that terrible to me. There's some other production that aged way worse.
Who?
I'm not gonna say.
All right, names. Yeah, Neptune. I'm from Virginia.
He's from Virginia too. But we're not gonna talk about.
You just want to say Timberland?
We're just gonna keep it pushing. We just gonna keep it pushing.
No, niggas not fucking with. Did he do Can't Stand the Rain? No, he didn't do Can't Stand the Rain.
No, he didn't.
Can't Stand the Rain. By who?
Missy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think Missy did that.
I think Missy did that. Who did that? Because the thing is, people forget Missy's a producer.
Yeah, by all means.
They was all in a team together. Damn, what Timberland beats him? Niggas wasn't fucking with The only thing I could get, I could have in my mind right now.
The Rain is produced by Timberland.
Oh, it is.
Missy's an executive producer.
Yes. Come on,
good for him. He got some other terrible beats.
He about to line some up for Justin in a month.
Remember Ugly?
All right,
all the Bubba Sparks records. Come on.
Okay, if it's a little bit out of subject as we're talking about Pharrell's ventures. I think about Michael doing You Don't Have to Call or Prince doing Frontin', and I don't know which one I would have wanted more.
Prince on Frontin' would have been fire.
Prince on fronting would have been nuts.
Prince would have been playing a down. You think it would have been fire?
It could have been. Prince, my thing though, I can't. It's hard for me to hear Prince on
over electronic beats.
Yeah, over shit that he didn't produce and shit that's just like I hear Michael more than Prince for sure.
I think Prince would have probably wanted to take frontin' and redo it. I think he would have wanted to make it his and give Pharrell like a little credit just for him like redoing his shit. So that would have been how Prince did it. But 8701 does what it does. I have to say this too, and we sound we big hating, but we're gonna get to the album in a second. 8701 cover is kind of ass. What is this?
Why?
Yeah, kind of.
It's a classic.
Waving.
The sunset in the back
with his titties out.
You hit the gym. You hit the gym. You deserve to do that.
You look. This nigga.
I don't hit the gym. I'm not gonna do that. If I was in the gym, by all means, I'm chest out everywhere.
All right, whatever. All right. So for his fourth album, Usher takes quite a shorter break this time from 2001 to 2004. And Usher and Jermaine Dupri chose to get personal on the album called Confessions, delving into topics that had a lot of people outraged, but also alternatively very glued into what the situation was. And to make matters worse, Chili from TLC, who Usher had been dating for a couple of years at that point, they had broken up a little bit before the album came out. And a lot of people thought that these songs on the album were about her.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting time. This is like before social media, but this is like, prime gossip era. And the radio was a lot of like facilitator for a lot of that shit.
I heard.
Yeah, there's a lot of like misinfo and people like that.
Thank God for that, yo. Social media today would have just ruined the entire album by the time that it even came out. There would be no lore to this album if it happened in 2024.
Bro, they would have had you see what happened to Boss Man D-Lo? They would have had Usher in the bed, bruh. They would have had the pictures out, son. It would have been good. It would have been good, bro. But we find out later within that what the real story was. So let's just go ahead and get into Confessions. The intro is what it is.
I actually really like that intro. It's like his brother produced that too, which is random.
That's crazy.
But it's like a very like serious neo soul ass intro.
Yeah, it is.
These are my.
And then out of nowhere, peace up, A-Town down. Is that like a conscientious effort to put Yeah as the first song on the CD?
That's very much like a label executive effort.
Yeah.
I think like CEO L.A. Reid was like, all right, kicking this off with Yeah.
Yeah, the song had been number one on the charts at that time for 4 weeks before the album dropped. So it was a perfect storm again of that album being hot. And I feel like people don't do this enough. They don't release when they're hot at the peak of an album. Like they don't drop an album when the song is number one. It's usually number one happens after or it happened months before.
I don't know. People don't have plans and rollouts no more.
True.
So it's like, records don't even catch on until after the album's out.
Yeah.
No one has a single anymore. Yeah, music is all fucked up now.
It makes, honestly, nothing made me more depressed about how shit is now. And I feel like it's like old men on the porch yelling at kids. But like, this album made me feel really sad because it takes you back to a point, into a moment. Yeah, it takes you back to that moment. Like, Yeah is such a feel-good record. One of the best R&B songs of all time. Like, one of the best club songs of all time. It comes on and you know what the fuck to do. Introduced us to the A-Town Stomp. We didn't know what the fuck that was until they said what it was. It was very Atlantic. Lil Jon, we talked about trends at that time. Lil Jon coming off a 2003 that had him kind of, perfect storm for Lil Jon as well. Chappelle Show came around this time too.
No, that's the thing. It's like Chappelle Show, all the records he had with East Side Boys. Yeah. He was producing for other people. And then this came out and this just was like out of here. And then it was like, I think Freakily came out first.
Yeah.
And that was that was like new.
Yeah.
And it was tearing up the charts. But for him to like take it, and I mean, it's basically the same fucking beat.
Yeah.
And bring that over to it was like, oh, this is extended the run.
And ironically, the Freak-a-Leak record was what Usher used as a reference for Yeah. That was originally supposed to be the song, and P.D. Pablo already had it. Yeah. So Lil Jon went in and said, I'll just redo the beat, and we'll just have this version of the song, not knowing, that it would blow up like it was. Like, just change it just a little bit of what they did. Same beat, same literal.
I mean, he added
pattern.
some synths. He made a better beat with Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's what that was. It was like accident beat that was good.
Yeah.
Somebody made a good rap song to it, but he was like, "Oh, I can make this better."
Yeah. Like it's a remix.
Yeah, no, literally
much.
a remix, and I could even imagine on the Freaky League beat. That shit would have probably not even been as big.
Somebody did on Twitter today, literally today, they put the instrument, the acapella of over Freaky League. I think Brian posted it in our chat a couple hours ago.
I gotta check it out.
And I don't like how it sounds. I was like, it don't sound right.
It wouldn't have been. Right. It wouldn't have. Freaky League was too hard.
Yeah.
And that shit was just too like, I don't know. It wouldn't have worked.
What if you put Freaky League over What if you put the instrumental of over Freaky League's vocals?
Taisha, somehow.
It'd probably be a better song, honestly, because that new beat was hard.
Yeah.
And we were remiss not to mention the Ludacris verse.
Absolutely.
Went crazy. Very just perfect compliment to that record.
Milk the cow. People
didn't
know
what said you can milk the cow.
People did not know what milk the cow meant. I was like, what?
They used to get censored. Right?
Yeah.
On BT.
But that was back when like vulgar Ludacris was out. Remember the old Ludacris albums? I went back and listened to a couple last year, and I was
a
like,
freak boy.
That nigga was doing saying some vulgar shit on these albums. I'm like, does this nigga think he's like, who does he think he is? He's like a comedian.
I mean, that was very much his lane, though. It was like
shock jock.
Yeah, shock jock were just like, freaky 90s or early 2000s type shit.
Splash Waterfalls wasn't your shit?
No.
I mean, it was cool. I'll fuck with that song.
Not even the Raphael Sadiq remix?
Splash Waterfalls was cool.
You know why I didn't like Splash Waterfalls? Because MTV Jams will always play that fucking video, the remix video, all the time. And I'm like, bro, I'm trying to see the Memphis Bleak Round Here video. I'm not trying to see this shit.
I thought you were about to say you want to see P-Poppin'. I was like, you got to wait till 2 a.m. for P-Poppin'.
Hey, man. On a handstand. On my American
bandstand.
Summer Stars flip-flops.
Dance.
But yeah, I don't know what more we can say about than like has already said. It's one of the best first songs to open an album ever. Does it properly like clue you into what the fuck's about to happen on his album? Because I like to say Confessions is like a fuckboy manifesto. Like Confessions is truly like a fuckboy manifesto. Like it's literally him.
I guess there.
He's talking about some wild shit on this album. But after you get to Throwback. Sorry. I always remember this song because it's sample or the State Property albums part 2 samples this later on in the year.
Yeah.
Later in the year, the song with one of the posse songs on that. But Just Blaze produces this. We talked about it earlier. He kind of, again, another trend that was going on right then, samples being really heavy. Kanye West was big here. Yeah. Kanye West would go on tour with Usher.
He was on the remixes.
Yeah, he was on the remix of this as well. And again, like he just knew the sign of the times. Like he had been in the game, and again, not having that long layover of albums allowed him to kind of be inside the conversation instead of adjacent to it. But Throwback, great fucking song.
Yeah.
Like the beat is amazing.
Amazing beat. I love the song. I love having Jadakiss on there. Like the sample chopped it up perfectly. The drums on this shit. This is when Just was like in his like live drum bag. So like the drums sound so crisp. Like definitely one of the standouts. Probably I wouldn't say it was my favorite song on here, but definitely up there.
One thing Jadakiss gonna do is talk about the Dutch being lit. I'm like, this nigga just can't go a song without this. I'm like, it's a love song. Why is the Dutch lit?
Hey man, sometimes you gotta smoke after sex or before.
The Dutch.
He was talking about the pillow being wet from tears. I was like, wow, Jada, I don't really hear that too much. So I can see where the Dutch comes in. A little bit of crying, a little bit of hint of Dutch.
One thing I love about Jadakiss today is how we're all amazed that he's able to do athletic things. Did you see him on the little pull-up bars?
I mean, the Locks is a pretty healthy group. You didn't know. Like Styles P owns a bunch of juice bars.
Yeah.
He might be vegan. Yeah, they're healthy.
Healthy gun toters, you know? Song after this, we got to get to it, man. Confessions or Confessions Part 2? Which one? Which one's better?
Here's the thing about the Confessions that's available online. And it's kind of why I really want the standard version of Confessions to be available on streaming services.
Yeah.
Everybody has the ability to hear the deluxe version of Confessions, which is quote unquote the part 1, the 4-minute record of him singing the original 1-minute interlude that I prefer, at least in my opinion, over the special edition record. Sometimes I just want to hear the initial interlude before going into Confessions.
Yeah, I didn't remember that they had completely swapped out all of the original versions of this album. So when I was like, why didn't it end? And it kept going. I was like, this is way too much. Like, because I think the original one going into the second one, it was very much like a story being told. And now it's like, okay, like you're telling us the same thing on this that you're going to tell us in like 3 minutes anyway. Yeah. It was weird.
I like Confessions Part 2, but yeah, no, it's a lot of like interludes that go into songs on here. Yeah. And that was the one they kind of flubbed.
Yeah, they
just trying to have 2 versions of it, I guess.
When did this expanded version come out, Mark? Do you know when they like just scrubbed the original off the face of the map?
Special edition ended up coming out that November, I believe, of 2004. So a couple months after Confessions. I'm not sure when streaming services ended up losing the standard edition of Confessions to only have this special edition. The special edition with it's like a greenish, goldish cover of him staring into the cover instead of our usual like brown, goldish cover that we got on the original Confessions. But, you know, it's a little bit of a difference. It's a little bit of a difference because we got our bonus records that are at the end of the special edition. But then all of the main records on the album are called special edition tracks of the singles, which they kind of end a little bit early. You don't really get the full record that you do get on the standard version. And it's like, I kind of just want my bonus tracks, but I want to keep the original version of Confessions that we had on CD. So
I think I guess
that's the troubling with streaming.
I think they did that with the CD version because they had to fit it into one CD. But I think with this, I feel like they might be trying to game the system because it's so goddamn long. There's like 20 tracks on this joint, and they probably like, oh, if they're gonna listen to Confessions, let's let them listen to the longest version of it so that we can get the maximum amount of streams out this shit. So that's probably why they did it that way. But Confessions Part 2 caused a lot of controversy at the time. This is a radio hit about somebody basically having a baby by somebody else. That's not his girlfriend. The lyrics and the penmanship of this, Jermaine Dupri was going through it.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't remember. I obviously remember the controversy around the whole album and just like, you know, him breaking up with Chili and all that stuff. But the record was played so much. I'm like, was it a controversy or was people just like, oh shit, like this is not the typical R&B song?
I think it was both. I think it was, I can't believe Usher would do this. Because people, again, for some reason, think that all songs were like the truth at the time. But also, like, I think it was just like everyone loved him and Chili together. Like, that was like the relationship. That was black love before J and B. But like, I also feel like, again, like the subject matter was so controversial and not heard before, but also very relatable. Like, a lot of people at that time were probably going through something like that.
Yeah, no, like definitely was relatable. And I mean, it goes back to our earlier point about him wanting to be like real on this album and give people like real scenarios. So I appreciate it, man. I think, you know, R&B can always tend to be just these unbelievable love stories. Yeah. And it's like, let's get something a little more serious, a little more relatable.
R&B is really cold too. I think with the R&B now, it's like, it's very much like fuck the bitch, like fuck her, like fuck her or fuck her. It's never like begging, you know what I mean? It's never apologetic. It's never any of that stuff. Like even some R&B acts that I like today, like I like Party Next Door. All of his shit is like fuck the bitch. Like they don't want, I don't want her no way. I got mad other bitch. I'm like, I was just not saying that here. There's a long, he had a Boys the Men interlude at the end of the song where he's like, the hardest thing I ever do in my life is tell the woman that I love that I'm having a baby by someone else. Like, damn, this nigga's on his knees. Like, it's about us.
Sliding on his knees. That was the craziest part. Coming out the camera and coming inside.
Yeah, nah, he went there with it. I think, you know, it was very much not the norm, and that's why it hit so good.
Yeah, for sure. This is what we call a run, because the next like 3-4 songs are all fucking hits off of this joint. It was like whoever sequenced this album, they deserved a fucking raise and then some, because after this you get Burn, which I think was more for Chili than Confessions Part 2 was.
Yeah, when you think about it, probably.
Because at the time also, Chili came out and said that he cheated on her. And then like he came out and said, no, I didn't.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, but no, Let It Burn, this was the one. Mm-hmm. I think even more than Confessions, and like, yeah, it was definitely the party record, but Let It Burn was the one that she was hearing. Yeah, slow record, but just you were hearing everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like that was like, yeah. That shit, just the run, like literally just the melodies and just the different, like the bridge of this shit. Like, it was a special record.
And every verse on this has something different that he delivers to you. There's like 3 verses on it. It's like there's the verse where it's like, I'm like, that's my favorite part of the song. I'm like, that it was like he was just like jamming in there.
Yeah.
And then it was the
man.
Like I'm like,
going
bro,
crazy.
He was snapping on that bitch, yo. Burn to me is one of the best R&B songs ever. One of the best R&B songs ever. Like maybe top 15. Like it is up there. It's really, really good. Again, no skips. No skips so far.
Yeah, there's no skips in this album.
There might be. So far, he's shooting 100% from the field, and he's also 3 from 3 on imagery.
I think
the video has amazing videography. Confessions, we already talked about the sliding throughout the camera, but then also one thing that I really loved about the Confessions video is how at the end, just dramatic, just 10 out of 10 dramatic Usher of him just staring at the mirror, and the mirror just
breaks. Yeah,
and he just I was like, damn, that's crazy. At 13 years old, I was like, wow, that's crazy imagery. And then in Burn, what did he do? I forgot what movie he did, but he did something like this, and the trees just all lit on fire, and he's dancing through the soot, and everything burning. I was just like, wow, he is literally. This is like, it kind of gets tough sometimes listening to albums right now and just thinking like, man, is this gonna be a classic a little bit down the line? We're gonna be talking about this months down the line, years down the line. It literally felt like everything that was dropping from Confessions was a momentous time in 2004, and I don't think we get too much of that now.
No, absolutely not. No. I think we'll listen to an album today and we'll just be like, on to the next one. I might go back and listen to old shit after I listen to a new album. I don't know. After this, we got Caught Up. How y'all feel about Caught Up?
Caught Up is hard.
Caught Up is good. Caught Up is like the
New York nigga classic.
Crumpin'. I feel like I hear crumpin' when I hear Caught Up.
You very much think that Usher's a clown dancer, which is crazy to me. You mentioned Tommy the Clown earlier. Now you're hearing crumpin' and Caught Up. It is very much a dance record. I will say this much. When I think about Caught Up, I think about when my sister was little, she used to be in dance classes, and they used to use this to like warm up that song.
That's
but Caught Up was a record. I fuck with Caught Up. It wasn't like they wasn't crumping though.
Yes, they were.
You don't see niggas tone whopping to this?
No,
I ain't seen no. I don't know what New York niggas was doing. They was doing this to Caught Up.
They're probably getting light. They're probably getting light to this. You can get light to this.
I can't see it.
It's like I like songs like this that come after a long string of really down. This is like 4 songs of like downbeat, very depressing type songs, and then he brings you back up, and then we get into Superstar. You have the interlude that leads you into that, right into Superstar. This is my favorite song on the album. Yeah. I was so glad he did this at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. No, this whole album is fucking fire. So I'm gonna say every song is one of my favorite songs, but Caught Up, Superstar, crazy record. Yeah. Like, really just turning the lens on like just like when you're an artist, you're the superstar. Yeah. And just turning that around and making a song about that. Like, obviously Dating Chili. I think that made it make a little more sense. But yeah, that was one of the ones for sure.
But it's like, again, like you said, flipping the roles. I think what was cool. And it's like, it's very tough sometimes with R&B. You feel like everyone said everything already. Yeah. And it's like, now it's like, no, you were the star. And then having all of the metaphors, I think, are the best parts of the song to me. I wish he would have like got to like that first verse. That first verse is so fucking good. And I wish that he would have got to that at the Super Bowl, because it's like, yo, this is really one of his underrated songs. Like, I look at it now, it's got like some of the lowest streams of anything on the album.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, we only got like 3 lines of the record at the Super Bowl. That's why I was like, oh, come on, you could have at least done the whole first verse.
He got the Bright Lights, he got that whole stanza out, and then he went on to the next song. I was like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah, I wasn't really.
It's pissing me off.
That part. And it also samples a record from one of the greatest albums of all time. If you never listened to the Mac soundtrack, please do. Willie Hutch, 10 out of 10 record. Nice 1970s album, goes with the film. And we also get a classic sample with this.
After this, we get to, I gotta say this is a skipper right here.
This is a skip for you? Truth Hurts?
Truth Hurts is this is the fuck boy.
Reason to believe you've been. That song was fire.
This is a skipper.
Well, bro, you're crazy.
This is a skipper.
Not a skipper.
So this album goes for 100% from the field all the way for 11 songs.
I absolutely believe it's no skips on this album.
Simple. That's it. The Truth Hurts is kind of just like, Because to me, it felt like we're retreading ground, but also like, nigga, you was just You was just basically like, my bad. Now you're like, nah, I think you doing something.
That's how it be, though. That's the core. That's why this record's so real. That's how it be in a relationship.
I was like, what? Like, come on, bro. I think the songwriting was a little bit like, I feel like they wrote this before they wrote all the other songs. That's what it felt like to me. What about you, Mark?
I'm not gonna lie. This is the cool down period of the album for me. No likes on these next 2 records. Not to necessarily say that they're bad records. Wow. I think who worked on these? Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, if I recall correctly.
Which is crazy that it's crazy that they had like the like the downward songs.
Crazy,
that's a cool down. It's a cool down period. I'm not saying it's bad.
You said no likes on Truth Hurts and Simple Things.
I'm gonna be real with you again. I'm skipping Simple Things too.
Wow. This is a great record, man.
The Simple Things thing is like a very much an R&B trope. Your man bought you a Rolex, but he don't got the time to spend with you. Like, bro,
that's what
we got that with Joe. Things your man won't do 6 years early.
Y'all crazy, bro. This is a hell of a record.
It's not. I just feel like it's
time. Long. The melodies he's using in this one, bro, all that shit is fire.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a bad record.
I just feel like it's like
high.
I mean, you can't go high the whole fucking thing. You gotta smooth it out, do different things. These are all. One thing I commend about this album is it's a lot of different types of R&B, but it's all done at a very high level.
Yeah, that's true. Sure. It's true.
Like that's why I'm like this. You need these type of songs.
I'm not doubt. Yes. Albums need filler for sure. It can't like.
I don't even call it filler, but I feel you. I very hear you, but I don't even think it's filler.
I'm not filler. Like albums need cool down, or albums need songs that are not like that. I'm not gonna say didn't have as much care as other songs, but it's like they need songs that aren't like the singles. You know what I'm saying? Aren't like the breakouts. I get that because like everyone loves the album cut. I think these are album cutty as album cuts. Like these are literally like. Remember Usher Truth Hurts? And someone would be like, no, but I remember the 2 songs. I remember the song that comes after that.
Niggas don't remember Truth Hurts.
The next 4 records are all uppercuts. I'm just going to tell you that right now. And are all better than Truth Hurts. And he has Simple Things. But it's not to say that they're bad records. Just the highs are high.
And he has an absolutely psychotic record that comes like 2 songs after this.
If you say so, because Do It To Me is, I like it, but it's like, obviously a Prince record. Like he wants to like... I'll take maybe Simple Things over that. Truth Hurts, like at least it's original.
To me, Truth Hurts and Simple Things are just stepping stones that get us to Bad Girl.
Yeah,
it's back up.
It's not bad to be that. It's not bad to be that.
We up again.
Bad Girl's my shit. Dude, Bad Girl's I told you he batted 100 on this album to me. I like every single song.
Bad Girl. What y'all know about a supermodel? Again, flipping the. He's like, I'm not the star. You're the star. The ladies are, and that's why I like this record. Because even if he was doing wrong, he's talking to the ladies. Yeah. He's apologizing to the ladies. My bad. Y'all are the superstars. Y'all are bad girls. Did they play this in the club for y'all? When we used to go to the club?
I mean, shit. This is 2004.
I mean, they were playing in 2010s. They played in 2010s.
Yeah. I mean, not really.
A little bit of it.
Yeah, I was in the club. They was playing YG.
As A+, DJs in Virginia would play this record as like a transition into like
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, they would play in transition into like back that thing up or something like that. They would hit the what y'all know about a supermodel first verse all the way into another song like where they at?
Fresh out of hell. That would be hilarious if that would happen.
Then we get to, and I'm being completely candid and honest here. I forgot this record was on this album. I don't know what I was doing when I was a kid and I was listening to this and this record came on. That's what it's made for. Is Psychotic.
Great song.
That's the Raw Dog anthem.
Is psychotic.
It's you know what's funny though? I like that's what it's made for because the bass line to it reminds me of a reggae song.
Yeah.
That sounds like a reggae ass bass line, but it's one of the ones. Like it. I mean, yes, it's freaky as hell.
It's a freak ass song.
The girl, I always wonder who was the background vocals on there. The girl.
It might have been the girl that he got pregnant early. I feel like that's what it's made for. It should have been before Confessions. That would have made for a more sick, psychotic record.
The background vocals are Patrice Butterfly Stewart. Who the hell's Butterfly?
Butterfly? I don't know.
She spells with 2 D's, huh?
No, Buttahphly.
I don't know that.
Who was that?
I know Faith Evans was on Superstar.
Yeah.
Backgrounds there.
Yeah, she did background on Superstar.
Yeah.
So that's what it's made for. If anybody doesn't know, it's about Usher forgetting his condoms and being like, I can't do this, man. But then doing it anyway.
Yeah, she was like, fuck it.
And then doing it multiple times in the record. But you know the ladies need a freak off, you know. I feel like people would clutch their pearls at this today. Then again,
really?
no.
What
They listen to worse shit.
Yeah, I'm like, look at
what
rap
shit.
is now.
Sexy. Rich Baby Daddy.
Yeah, rap is terrible.
Rich Baby Daddy is out. I like this record a lot though. Like as crazy as it is, I like this record a lot. Like this is again different styles of R&B, a style of R&B that you don't even really hear like that no more. Like I feel like R&B might be too nasty. Like to me, I'll take all that I said back. This is tame compared to what we got today.
Right?
This is extremely tame compared to what we got today.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing. Like nothing on this album was like I said, was all relatable.
Yeah.
But now when you hear R&B records, it's like not relatable.
Yeah.
It's almost like, fuck the bitch, then I went and fucked her friend right after. Like, it's like, damn, nigga, did you really? Like, that's what happens. So like,
I fucked two bitches at the same time.
Yeah,
like, all right,
I'm
man.
like, all right,
cool, man. Like,
this is relatable. Everybody's been in this situation. That's what it's made for. You forgot the condom. She's like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm about to come. Don't come yet. Like, it's just
bro, she said she's clean. I was like, yo. I was like, what?
I'm just saying, bro. Like, everybody's been in that situation.
Oh my God. And then after this, we get Can You Handle It?
Another one. I love Can You Handle It.
That's another one. You know, it's the penmanship of this shit, man. Like, these motherfuckers was in a zone. For however long they recorded this, from 2003 to 2004, they were in a fucking zone, and this is just another more proof to it.
Wow! I almost asked, was this another Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis? This is actually penned by Robin Thicke.
Yeah, that's the Robin Thicke joint. Can You Handle It? Robin Thicke at this point was about to have his moment too, literally the next year.
Yeah, I forgot who produced this. James Gass. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Oh, Robin Thicke produced this.
Yeah,
too.
he produced it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, he and again signed to Star Trek. He got one of the best Neptune's beats. Actually, no, did I Want to Love You? I don't want to get into it.
Want to Love You Girl is a higher end Neptune's beat.
It's a loop.
Higher end Pharrell verse?
It's a loop.
This guy's a hater.
It's a loop. We did get his feature on Shooter. Shooter. Well, it ended up being a flip until Wayne brought Thicke into the video, which is actually very cool.
You know, it is what it is. Do It To Me.
Classic.
Gotta be real. Don't
say you're skipping this.
Slight skipper.
I like Do It To Me.
Slight skipper.
You don't hear this beat? You gonna skip this beat?
I like Do It To Me. That's probably one of the. I mean, it's obviously Prince inspired.
Yes,
but it's one of the most like.
That's what I can't get over.
It's one of the more creative songs on here. I'm like, oh, okay, like you really like you doing that.
I can't get over how much of a Prince song it is.
And just the falsetto he's singing in, it's like, oh, you like really, you're talented.
I know he can sing, but I'm just like, it's just so derivative to me. If it sounds derivative, I don't know. That's it's still a perfect album though.
Yeah.
It's not a bad song. I'm just not listening to it again. I'm just not gonna listen to it again. Now here's where the album would end if you lived in 2004. Take Your Hand.
No, it's actually Follow Me.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. Take Your Hand is the next song on the album. You skip this?
I'll skip these.
There
the last two I'll skip.
There you go.
But it's just because like the before the run, Can You Handle It? Do It To Me. Those are so like those are two songs I have sex to. Like what? How long is 4 minutes? Then you got 3 minutes. Yeah,
it's like, a little long in the tooth.
I'm like, yeah, 10 minutes in. I'm like, all right.
The album's lengthy. To say the least.
And I think we've already reached its message already. I think we've got the synopsis of what's going on in this album. So Take Your Hand is just like, hey, you want me to, am we doing this or not? So that's Take Your Hand, and then Follow Me ends up being, the outro there.
Yeah. And then we get My Boo, which everyone has something to say about the performance of the Super Bowl. I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, why are niggas so insecure online?
Well, I mean, besides that, people are stupid. They're performers. That's what they do. Yeah. I mean, I was more concerned about Alicia kind of off key.
Yeah. Well, they fixed it.
Yeah, I heard they fixed it.
Fixed it.
I don't know how they did that.
AI?
I mean, shit. They got the stems and shit. So
that is
and you got to think about it like those, like her, she wasn't playing the guitar, but that's like a real law. Like you can't play the guitar on stage or some shit. Like it's it's some law against that. Like during those performances, you can't actually play the instrument. It's a weird law. I forgot what it is exactly.
For Super Bowl?
Wow.
It's for performances on television or something like that. I got to look it up. But there's a law, a reason. There's like a very valid reason why she wasn't actually playing the guitar.
Because I guess you need the wire, and niggas could trip over the wire.
Yeah, I forgot. No, it's like a law. Like I forgot what it is. It's not even anything like production wise. Like
okay.
And it's not just it's not just in the state of Nevada. It's television in general.
Yeah, it's like a television law.
What'd you feel about the her?
That's a good little added bonus. I was wondering how he was going to incorporate people that weren't actually on songs and shit like that. Wasn't mad at it. I like her.
My Boo. What left is there to say about My Boo? I think really good song, great chorus,
Great duet.
Yeah.
Alicia was hot at the moment.
Super hot.
Usher was, hot, obviously. I like it. It's a good song. Great song. They went crazy.
Like, come on. Everybody says that.
Honestly, Alicia Keys is undefeated on the duets. She got some mean ones in her catalog.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about her shit, like Diary, oh my God. Like,
I won't tell.
Yeah, like them shits is like, she knows what to do when she get in the studio with a nigga. Shit crazy.
I'm about to say, who did she fight in the verses again? It was John Legend. They had a good moment.
John Legend.
Oh, yeah.
After this, gotta say, weakest Lil Jon beat probably ever.
Oh, come on.
Red Light's kind of weak.
I don't even get to this part of the album. Like, I don't really listen to this shit.
Red Light's kind of weak. Come on, Mark. That shit's weak. For him to have, this is his second appearance on this album, and this is what they give us.
I just remember this special edition being like really huge, even to the commercial wise. I think Little John voiced the commercial, and he was like, "Hey, seduction, red light." I forgot what he said on the commercial, but they made it sound so huge. And when it leaked online, I was just like, "Wow, these records are insane." So My Boo, huge for me. Red Light, Seduction, those end up being huge records, and then of course the remix of Confessions at the end. But I liked Red Light.
Seduction was cool. I actually like Seduction a lot.
Seduction's crazy.
Yeah,
it's cool.
I like Seduction a lot.
My Boo is the star of this.
Yeah, but
collection of tracks.
Seduction is it ain't no slouch.
And then we get to the Confessions Part 2 remix with Shine. Shine had just got out, by the way.
Nah, it wasn't the Shine one from jail.
No, he was in jail.
Yeah, that's
right.
the first from jail.
He was in jail. He said on the phone. Who put that together?
I don't know. I'm like, why did they put that together? It never made sense to me, honestly.
It was strange, but with him, Twista, Kanye West, of course, synergy with Kanye West, with them going on tour later that year. Or actually, when this came out, it was like the summertime, so he was about to drop Late Registration, right?
Nope.
No, it was College Dropout.
Yeah, College Dropout would have been, well, as of today, it was it turned 20 years old on
like 3 days ago,
5 days ago,
or 5 days ago. Yeah, and then this came out the month after. Damn, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad he came out that early, but. Confessions by the numbers here. When it released, 1.1 million sold first week, the highest first week sales for a male R&B artist, 7th best in Nielsen history. Over 15 million copies sold, 13 million in the U.S. No one's beating this record as far as male R&B. Nobody's beating it.
I don't think anybody will. I don't think anybody will, honestly.
I mean, we'll see. There might be somebody that pops up and do it, but
it's tough. It's not looking good right now.
Excuse me. Not right now, though. Honestly, it's like because R&B is so bedroom.
Yeah.
I mean, Frank Ocean ain't beat this shit.
Nah. Frank Ocean is very niche.
Did he?
Niche, but then he also just comes out of nowhere where it's like no lead up. But I'm surprised.
Has Frank Ocean gone like multiple? He's gone multiple platinum for sure. China Orange was multi-time platinum, but has he gone 5?
And his releases always have some funny shit around it. Let me take a look.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's always like a weird,
like a release schedule or cadence or because remember,
Channel Orange is gold. Ooh. Blonde is one-time platinum.
That's too niche.
Yeah.
It's too niche. Yeah. It's not like this. Like he ain't making like, but that's to his credit. Like he doesn't really want to go that lane. But I think
that's his lane.
I think Frank Ocean could accurately pen songs that are like this good. I mean, he's done it before. You know what I mean?
He can. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Frank Ocean can't make these songs.
I'm saying write them, right? No,
no.
You could.
No, love
really?
him. Think Frank is dope. Frank ain't writing.
Yeah,
Confessions.
He ain't writing. That's what it's made for.
Yeah, I mean, for real, he definitely not right now. I'm just saying. He's not writing these records. I love Frank. Frank is really fucking dope, talented. I might go listen to some Frank Ocean when I get to the car.
I tried to hold it. I can't.
Caught Up? You think he can write a Caught Up?
Nah, it's a thing. Because the thing is, if you write Caught Up, you're gonna have to mention the ColecoVision or some shit in it, or fucking Atari or some shit.
Yeah.
He ain't making. I just don't. I get really sad about the state of like what's going on right now because we need records like this. This was a seismic shift in R&B. Like after this, there were so many that came after him. There was Chris Brown. There was a lot of people that came after him that followed this blueprint.
Yeah. I mean, Chris Brown's probably the last of the Mohicans as far as this blueprint.
Yeah.
Nowadays, niggas is just.
But even he like fuck the bitch, and I'm rapping.
Yeah. But no, he still got the songs for the ladies for sure.
They too. Like, Josh, the Chris Brown R&B records is too hard.
Nah.
Like they soft, but they like.
Nah, like under the influence and shit like that ain't hard.
The way he presents them is like,
no, it's
his
just
look
you
is
because
too
you
hard,
just think Chris Brown is hard because you know him as a person.
Exactly.
But the music ain't hard.
Like it's like lipstick on a pig, bro. Like you put it on somebody else. Like I think you give this Chris Brown song to somebody else, it comes off a little bit better.
Nah, Chris Brown still got some shit. But
we have talked about new generation classics. I think Bryson Tiller ended up making his way into that conversation. Do you think that?
Not for me.
Do you think that did for better or for worse?
I don't think Bryson Tiller's album is a classic.
Trap Soul?
I don't think it's a classic.
I would put P&D 2 over Trap Soul.
I would.
By all means, yes.
But I don't know. Trap Soul, it's not it for me.
The thing about Trap Soul is that it's also too, well, for one, he can't sing, in my opinion. That's my opinion. But two, it's really derivative of a lot of shit. It's really sample heavy. That's number one. There's no instrumentation behind Bryson Tiller's music at all. So it's like it's all of it is samples. Literally Jodeci, Usher, fucking a bunch of shit that he sampled. It's like there was a originality to what Usher was doing at this time, where it was like, again, there's instrumentation, there's writing, there's relatability, there's things that are going on that like we just don't see anymore. And I think that like Bryson Tiller, he has one lane. I hurt you, girl. My bad. I hurt you. Like, oh, and I'm rapping too. Also. Yeah,
I just heard that record he just put out. The Detroit sound and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
The fuck out of here. Come on, man. Like R&B really is dying.
We got 4 bats.
There's new P&D this year?
Hopefully.
P&D, he's still gonna be on the same shit.
It is some shit that's kind of bubbling. Like I've heard about this kid named Miles stuff I've been hearing about.
What you feel about Lucky Day?
You know what? Lucky Day's cool.
But he's not a performer.
Yeah, I mean Lucky Day's cool, but I'm not. I ain't heard nothing. I'm like, oh shit. I like, a project I really like.
Yeah.
Why am I blanking on my guy's name? Daniel Caesar's last project.
I heard it was good.
I've
heard it was good, but we need to have like a triple threat: singing, dancing.
Yeah. Nobody giving us all that.
Nobody's giving us
lazy.
That. Yeah, nobody's giving us that. 4 bats don't even look like.
We got Jacquees.
You can't dance.
You can't.
What you mean?
I've never seen Jacquees dance.
He dances all the time. That's literally his thing.
I've never seen Jacquees.
He's the king R&B.
He's the king R&B. I've never seen him dance.
Oh my god! I'm looking
at this R&B playlist. Wow, this is
sad.
The male R&B is very, very low right now. I'm looking at it Friday.
Oh,
I like some Friday.
That's not really dancing.
That nigga singing.
I mean, that's not really singing. I mean,
he sound like Paul Bearer. He sound like Paul Bearer.
I was gonna say he sounds like
Young Blue. I fuck with Young Blue.
That's not R&B. He's just naming rappers.
He can sing. Aaron Ray.
Who's that?
R&B.
Tone Stiff.
Aaron Ray's from LA, I think.
Yeah, he should be from.
I bet you
Leon Thomas. Leon Thomas. We bigged up Leon Thomas on the show.
Kalon for real on that playlist.
Kalen. I like. He's not on there, but Leon Thomas is one, but he doesn't dance.
Yeah, we need the triple threat. Ain't no triple threats. Anyway, for March, I got the topic. Since we brought him up earlier in the show, we're gonna have to listen to an Eminem record.
Oh my gosh.
For March.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Let's do Eminem show for next month.
Eminem show in March?
Yeah.
I guess if y'all want. I'm not looking at Jacquees dancing. He's doing the Usher. Usher, man, is really a trendsetter because he's dancing like Usher right now. He's doing like the little Usher walk. Remember that? Remember this? He said the Usher walk when you used to do the little moonwalk to the side.
Oh yeah.
They didn't call it that for y'all. The Usher walk.
No, we didn't. Call it that.
Oh man,
we just called it jigging.
Niggas should be at school doing the Usher walk.
Eminem. Here's the thing. Well, I don't want to do Eminem show if you're just gonna Carter for it. Like, are you gonna give it a fair shot? Or are you gonna Carter for it?
I mean, for me, it's like I'll listen to it because that had the Nate Dogg record on there, right?
Yeah. That's at the end. That's at the end of the record, and it's a long album too.
Yeah, all right, we can do it.
Eminem show. We gotta give him some props though, because that is one of my favorite lyrical albums of all time though.
That sounds terrible.
Oh my! If we're gonna Carter for it, we're not gonna do it.
Hey man, Whatever y'all want to do.
Yeah. John's gonna Carter for it.
He's about to Carter for it.
Pivot.
Carter 4. It's worse than the Carter 4.
No, Josh. Eminem show is not worse than the Carter 4.
First off, you're wildin'. Second off,
well, here's the thing. I can't do Marshall Mathers LP. I can't go back to that one. That one's hard to listen to. That one's like, and other than what's the joint? What's the joint? I am whatever you say I am. The rest of those joints is a blur to me. It's very much like I can't do it. Eminem show is actually like one to me his best album.
Let's take a look at what turns. Let's take a look at some anniversaries in March.
It don't even gotta be anniversaries.
That's fair.
It's either that or it's either, to me, my top two was Eminem show or UGK record.
UGK record would actually be
the
nice.
one from 05. The one with the double disc.
The one with Quit Hating the South?
Yeah.
We know rap started in the motherfucking East.
Niggas want to listen to Square Dance.
Come on.
That's one record.
Say goodbye to Hollywood. Come on, man.
My dad's going crazy.
Here's the thing, Josh. You know these records.
I do. I remember where I was at listening to this shit. Like I remember who had this CD because I definitely didn't have the CD. My homie Stefan had the CD, and we used to go to his place and play fucking GameCube.
Why did you say
the way he just said the way he just did the hand with GameCube?
I just remember he had his GameCube. Jamaican homie.
Listen, fuck it. Eminem show next month. This is going to be a good one because there's going to be a lot of controversy to talk about. Or we could do like post beef Eminem. We could do encore and we could really Carter for it.
I'm not doing
unless you want. I mean, we did have this on the list. You want to do documentary?
Oh,
that's a good one.
Let's do documentary.
That's a great album.
Let's do documentary.
Yeah, let's do that.
Documentary, and then April we'll do Eminem show.
Okay.
Documentary next month. Let's follow the trend of these early mid 2000s because it's less depressing then and the music was better.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that. Documentary. I don't mind going back to that. I haven't listened to documentary in a couple years. So March documentary, April, we're gonna do Eminem show. So be ready, y'all. Thank you guys for listening. This has been a great episode. I've had a lot of fun going back to Confessions.
Great album. 10 out of 10.
It's a class. I wanted to ask: Is it the best? Is it the best R&B album of all time?
Shit. It depends on what you categorize R&B. Like, were those Marvin Gaye albums R&B? Because those are better.
Is it one of the best?
One of the best
R&B.
for sure.
Top 10.
Yeah.
Top 10.
Definitely top 10.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Top 10. What about you, Mark?
Depends if you want to keep it in that 90s 2000s era. Like Josh said, it does depend what you consider as R&B. Do people consider Lauryn Hill's album R&B? Do they consider it rap?
She doing both.
Even back then, you had what did you have back then? Donnell Jones albums ends up being really big for people.
Is it? Does Donnell Jones?
Where I Want to Be?
That's a good album.
Yeah, it's good. Classic?
I mean, it ain't up there with this.
This Love's on there. Where I Want to Be's on there.
It's not up there with this.
Confessions,
You Know What's
Mark.
Up's on there. Those are three gems.
Mark, Confessions. 15
Compared
times.
I don't think anything's going to compare to a Diamond album. What's even second? What's even second to Confessions?
It's funny how niggas now are like very much like a Diamond album. Like y'all care about record sales from like then. And
I do.
So
by
off topic.
By all means, I do.
Okay, so Carnival, Kanye West. It's about to be a top 10 debut, man. That's a great record.
Has this been bothering you all week? Josh has been okay.
I think he's trying to like.
No.
Easy 2024, baby.
Let me go. Let me go back to this, okay? Because I've been ignoring it all week.
He's been trying to uppercut you all week.
Yeah, 2024, baby.
Josh has been trying to. You're about to cry, yo. So a couple days ago, shout out Elliot Wilson. He said, "Where's the kid is the luck?" And I don't. Here's the thing: we're supposed to be recording Black Print. I was gonna bring this up on Black Print, but I guess we got to do it now.
No, we can save it for Black Print.
No, do it now. Do it now,
baby.
We got to do it now. So Elliot Wilson says, "This is so fucking." Josh is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It just dropped in my head because it's like, damn, niggas so high up on sales. This shit's selling.
Here's my thing, right?
I just want to know, man.
I don't know if it's selling.
I just want to know, man.
I got tears in my eyes right now. That's how weak I am with this shit. So he said, somebody, I don't even remember who it was. I think it was Bands or it was Armand or somebody in the chat said, or it was Cam. He said he got Rich the Kid on a hit. And I said something to the effect of like, a hit is a stretch or something like that. Josh has been mad at that comment for days.
It's literally a hit. I just thought, I don't know what is it Uchiwali or is it one mic?
Here's the thing. When I said that, it was literally the day that the shit came out.
Yeah, man, but I called it early. It's a hit. I knew it. I knew it was gonna be a hit. So I'm just trying to figure out now. Are hits numbers or music?
Josh,
based?
I don't have a problem saying it's a hit. I said at the time a hit is a stretch.
All right. I mean, it's
not, also a new album that just came out.
It's not a stretch.
It's also an album that just came out.
Play it.
That I haven't even played it yet. I haven't even heard. Only time I've heard Carnival is on the TikTok. There's this kid who always dances to the fucking song, and I just keep listening
the black
to
kid.
it. Yeah, the black kid. He keeps dancing. That's the only I've only heard the play, but he keeps doing the. He keeps doing that shit. That's the only thing I've heard from this album. I will admit it's a hit. I don't have a problem admitting it's a hit.
I don't think you do. I was just trying to figure it out.
No, you was.
I'm trying to figure out what's a hit these days. Is it numbers? Is it music? I don't know.
This nigga's been trying to kill me for days off of this.
I just been trying to figure it out, man. But I'm glad you admitted it's a hit.
So but fuck that. Can we admit Ozzy Osbourne is a fucking legend then?
I mean, he'd probably be more of a legend for the reality show than the music.
He is not. That is not the truth.
All right.
That's not the truth.
Niggas ain't listening to fucking Ozzy Osbourne.
Niggas absolutely listen to Ozzy Osbourne.
All right, shout out to him.
So
we were just talking about Lil Jon. Lil Jon is a huge Ozzy Osbourne fan.
So if I can say right here, it was a hit.
I'm just saying niggas listen to
Ozzy Osbourne.
Good for them.
Trick Daddy listen to Ozzy Osbourne.
You naming some nefarious characters.
What?
Lil Wayne and Trick
so
Daddy.
Is it a nigga or is it a nigga? Is it a nigga or is it a nigga?
Exactly. What kind of nigga do you
Is it a nigga or is it a nigga?
All right, man. Shout out to Ozzy Osbourne.
All right, there we go. Because if it's a hit or not a hit, is it a nigga or is it not a nigga?
All right, man.
All right.
Got it.
There you go.
Can I tell you guys as soon as we leave the top 25 highest selling R&B albums of all time? Maybe you can guess some.
Confessions. Probably fucking 12 play or R. Kelly album. Probably
Heartbreaker.
Probably Chocolate Factory. Low key.
Yeah.
Might be up there.
On, man. We might need to put one of those in the mix.
Nah, so I told you that we would do a throwbacks. I told you how we're gonna do it. R. Kelly throwbacks. Huh?
We're gonna do 12 play 2P2.
Whatever one you do, if you don't, but you know what you can't do though.
What I can do?
We talked about it last episode.
I forgot. I can't wait.
Because you was in your bit. Because you was doing a bit. That's why.
Saying, man, the music's good. Separate the man from the art.
This nigga, man. What are they, Mark, so we can get out of here, bro?
All right. There's a couple albums that have sold 7 million. The Waiting to Exhale soundtrack,
yes.
Usher My Way, The Emancipation of Mimi, Bobby Brown, Don't Be Cruel.
Wow.
Songs in A minor by Alicia Keys.
Wow.
Tony Braxton's debut album in 1993. That has sold 8 million. Tony Braxton's Secrets has sold 8 million.
Wow.
The R by He Who Shall Remain Nameless, also 8 million. Michael Jackson Dangerous, 8 million. Destiny's Child, The Writings on the Wall, 8 million. Mariah Carey's debut is 9 million.
Wow.
Cooley High Harmony is 9 million. Whitney by Whitney Houston is 10 million. Confessions, this says 10 million. This is from last year, so I'm sure it's changed since then.
It's 15.
Songs in the Key of Life, 10 million. Music Box, Mariah Carey, 10 million.
Jesus.
Lionel Richie, Can't Slow Down, 10 million. Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, 10 million. Bad by Michael Jackson's at 11 million. Daydream is at 11 million. Crazy Sexy Cool's at 12 million.
Shit.
2 by Boyz II Men's at 12 million. Whitney Houston's at 14 million, her debut. The Bodyguard soundtrack is at 18 million. Thriller is at 34 million.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Usher's in some good company.
Yeah.
Some good company. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you guys for listening to our last 5 minutes of
we're just getting the facts.
We gotta
straight.
run this Carnival combo back.
We're just getting the facts straight.
There's no conversation.
We're gonna run it back next week or whenever we do Black Print.
We're gonna do Black Print in a couple days.
Yeah,
and
might start the episode off with that. It's the record of the week for sure. It's the hottest record on the streets right now.
I will agree with Josh that this is Kanye's better record in a very long time. Not that there's a lot of competition.
I won't listen to it.
Good.
I won't.
All right,
it's not because it's politics. Because that nigga sucks.
Okay.
As a rapper, I don't listen to things that suck.
Cardi's on there.
You listen to Cardi.
I'll listen to Cardi. Cardi don't suck. Cardi don't suck.
Okay.
I mean, maybe like
the rap
musically,
is the better. The rapping is very much the same. Niggas is just complimenting the beat and got a nice little flow.
I like. Well, he sound like Thug. That's probably why I fuck with the Carnival shit. Like that, like when Thug.
This new flow from Cardi is.
Here's my thing. I just miss Young Thug, bro. That's really what it is.
So listen to Young Yeezy.
Who?
Young Yeezy.
Who's that?
Kanye West.
All right, I'm out. We're out, y'all.
All right, bro.
Northy.
We'll see.
Talking.
We'll see you next month. We'll see you next month for. We'll see you next month for the Game documentary. We should have a lot to talk about. Also, big LA album, so you should probably have a lot of stories about that.
Yeah.
And
came out around the same time as this too. It's crazy.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. So thank you guys for listening to ThrowBLKs. We'll see you next month. For Josh and MC, I'm Justin. We'll see you guys next month. Peace.